What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Tasty Tuesday on Tasty Loot Gaming, the show where we talk about gaming news. My name's Seth.
I'm Josh.
I'm Chevy.
And I'm Chris.
And quick reminder, make sure to play Resident Evil Remastered, or HD Remake, whatever the fuck it's called, Transformers Devastation, both offered on PlayStation Plus. We'll be talking about them at the end of the month on Plus Club. Make sure to join us. Let us know what you think of them. We'll do the same. And also, the game of the month for this month is Rocket League. So if you have that, feel free to play that. We're going to talk about it. Tell us what you think of it. Probably do a gameplay video soon. We did one already, but we had some technical difficulties. But, yeah, we got 4 topics. As always, Josh, bring in the first one.
So, first topic of the day is Bethesda has come out and said that they finally have worked past all the kinks with Sony creating mods, or letting you use mods on the PlayStation 4 for Fallout and Skyrim. And it's going to roll out when Skyrim Remastered rolls out at the end of October. The nitty-gritties pretty much is Sony didn't want anybody to upload a mod that could have a backdoor kind of virus in it or any sort of dumb shit like that, because it does happen. So you're able to not bring in any outside assets when you create. You have to use the creation kit that comes, or that Bethesda has, and then so you make it with their assets.
So like homebrewed models or skins.
Exactly. Like it's gonna be shit that they make. So I mean, I bet you're gonna see new quests and stuff like that. I mean, it's gonna be pretty standard fare. I think it's neat. It's kind of cool to actually. They didn't just say, well, Sony said no, so fuck it. Bethesda actually showed initiative for their fan base and bringing mods to something they said they were going to bring it to. So that's pretty cool. Will I use it? I don't think so, but we'll maybe find out.
And that's the whole topic. With one thing you said it's cool that they were adamant about getting it going. I agree. At the same time, I think it's kind of funny because they did when they couldn't do it, threw Sony under the bus, so I thought it was a little unprofessional. But I'm glad they were able to come together and get that going for the community, the people who enjoy these games. It's really good to see those people get that lesser content than what Xbox One is getting. But yeah, I agree with that. You were going to say something. I just went off on that.
All I was going to say is we had brought this up before, obviously, before they had come to an agreement on how to do it, and one of the things we had brought up was Sony likely doesn't want to do anything that can't go through a certification process. Well, if a creation kit can go through certification and all those tools are there, that makes sense. So I just don't understand why they made a big deal of it in the past. So because there was not a hard fix. I don't know.
It seems like it was a lot less of a pain in the ass than they were trying to say it was.
Yeah. I just think they wanted it their way, and Sony wanted it their way, and as people butting heads, of course, if you want it to be on the console, you have to work with Sony, and I'm glad they were able to do that for, like I said, the people playing it, the ones benefiting from it. So, Chris,
I pretty much agree with what you were saying. It's basically started off with both companies basically not being lenient in any way of what they wanted and expected out of the game. I think this is the best outcome we could get, ultimately, for a PlayStation version of the game. You're not going to get anything better than this. It's either this or nothing at all. So yeah, I'm not surprised it came down to this eventually. I'm a little surprised it took so long and so much finger pointing, but in the end, it's just, I knew it was going to be like this.
Does anybody play these games on PS4 or even Xbox One and potentially might use the mods?
When I had Fallout 4 for like the week I had it, I played it on PlayStation, so...
Yeah.
But no, I don't have it, so no mods.
So nobody?
No.
I know.
I would play on PC for mods. So.
Yeah, me too.
I know my girlfriend may buy there's going to be a Game of the Year edition for Fallout 4, of course, somewhere. I think she's going to get that. So maybe I can check it out and kind of give you guys a recap on
Definitely, because I'm curious on how it's going to work and how well it's going to work, blah, 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 blah. So it's cool. I'm glad they were able to get it fixed, and I'm glad people can partake in that.
Yeah.
For a second bit of news, Activision CEO Bobby Kotick, or Kotick, whatever the fuck you want to call the asshole, has said that the Call of Duty series has a tremendous responsibility in keeping the games exciting. He is quoted in saying, "Our priority is audience focus, the recognition and appreciation that our audiences invest so much in our franchise, and our responsibility to them continually innovates, or to innovate within those." What the fuck that means? "We feel a tremendous responsibility to our audiences to keep our franchise exciting." Now, this is really interesting, and more so an opinion piece, really. I mean, it's not really news. It's just interesting to hear him put so much praise into the series. Do you guys agree that they have a big responsibility to keep their games exciting?
Go ahead, Joey.
I was just going to say, that was a very fluffy way of saying, we have to make our games fun so people will buy them. That's what I heard. So,
yeah, I mean, of course, anything with Bobby Kotick is green based, but I do commend him for actually being the CEO of, Big Papa, and he's talking about one of their products with like the world. It's not like they didn't go to the CEO of Treyarch or something like that and fucking they're like, it's our responsibility to fucking, it probably is their responsibility to fucking make the games exciting. So that's kind of neat that Kotick was involved or wanted to be involved that much. At the same time, though, I mean, it is definitely their response. I mean, the thing about Call of Duty is now it's such a monster. If they just throw them out there, people are going to buy them kind of no matter what. I mean, they're going to sell.
Well, I think the weakest we've seen Call of Duty so far has been Ghosts, and after that, they had to really kind of push to make the games interesting and new again.
Yeah.
One thing I feel like we're not touching on this, or at least I'm going to jump out there with, is I agree. Also, when I read this, I was like, yeah, I get you have something that makes a shitload of money. You need to keep people buying it. It makes sense completely. But there is an inherent responsibility that Call of Duty has in the sense that the original Modern Warfare, as we've talked about multiple times, changed online FPSs. With its great success, has pushed innovation with other companies.
Right.
Other companies are also trying to strive to get the same amount of money, same amount of people buying the game, but at the same time making not shit games, right? So you had the Medal of Honor remakes, not remakes, but the
kind of
reboots. Yeah. And those didn't do well.
Tier 1, baby.
People bought them, but they weren't well received, and for good reason. They were just kind of shitty fucking cash grabs at this whole Modern Warfare thing. And I truly believe Battlefield's push into what we have now as Battlefield 3, 4, and 1, a lot of it is influenced by trying to make a really stellar game that can compete with Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Without Call of Duty being there, I don't think we'd have the same quality of games that we're getting from DICE. So I get what he's saying. It is fluff talk for sure, but he's not wrong in my opinion.
Well, I say he was wrong. It just was very business-oriented version of saying, give me money.
Well, if anyone's benefiting from Call of Duty being successful, it's him.
Yeah.
So.
If
And I
anybody
have
that
nothing
has
negative to say about it. It's business.
business
so.
kind of acumen, it is Kotick because he makes good decisions in a business sense.
Before I ask my next question, Chris, opinions?
I think from someone who doesn't actually play any Call of Duty games, it sounded like a very generalized statement to me. Every company has the responsibility to make your games exciting, because if they're not, no one's going to fucking play them.
Definitely.
I think the responsibility for them is higher than others because they've had such a long history of making good games, but just to say that they have the responsibility of making it exciting, well, no fucking shit.
Yeah. They are the gold standard, though. So
I mean, same company, Blizzard with WoW.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still supporting that game, and they have to. They can't just go like, okay, we're done. We did good. Move on. Like, with something that big, even with the subscribers going down, they still got to keep it relevant and going because branding, reputation, all that shit. People got to stay excited for World of Warcraft, and it also spurred a lot of other MMOs to try and get a piece of that pie. Same thing with Call of Duty.
Including one that I absolutely love. So
Which one?
Final Fantasy 14. It literally plays like WoW. So
yeah,
it's evolved into its own game, but it really kind of you know, when it got rebooted from its failure, turned into World of Warcraft. So,
my real quick question, because I don't want this going on for too long, but what can you imagine? And if you can, what would it be like if Call of Duty just dropped off the face of the fucking earth out of nowhere?
be the Wild West again, I imagine.
I mean, like, do you think we'd get a bunch of new like games popping out FPS wise, or like, do you think people would almost start taking what Call of Duty did so well and just like blatantly taking that now without trying to look like a copycat? Like, it's just a really interesting thought to think Call of Duty's being out of the picture.
If they're just gone, something would have. It'd be a vacuum, and something would have to fill the space.
Yeah.
Whether or not those are good or can stand up to what Call of Duty was, probably maybe not. I would assume. I'd assume that a lot of players would run to Battlefield because that's kind of the closest thing you can get right now.
That or Titanfall.
Yeah, or Titanfall.
I think Titanfall will become more successful.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I mean that'd be pretty crazy. I mean, it would be. That's a good question because I mean,
it's like if you drop like all the sports games come out every year too, like the big ones like Madden or whatever, completely gone. Someone's gonna have to fill that void, and there's not.
Why'd you have to do that on my face?
That's where it belongs.
Damn. I'm not at the bottom here.
I just think it's interesting to think about, you know, that quote and the responsibility, and also, you know, Call of Duty out of the picture. The landscape would look different. I mean, like, this isn't the first time there's been the pinnacle game that influenced a bunch of other games. I mean, Halo did that, and then we got shitty games like Project Snowblind. And a bunch of other games. Fucking Haze.
I don't remember fucking Project Snowblind.
I know.
I think that if Call of Duty was gone altogether, you'd probably experience something that similar happened when World of Warcraft started to become a decline. You get all these like weird free-to-play MMOs just popped out of nowhere that took a lot of elements from World of Warcraft and just basically stole them.
There was a Russian game that I actually liked quite a bit, but it was pretty much a WoW clone.
Yeah.
I forgot the fuck it was called. Oh god, I can't remember. But yeah, that came out around the time that was kind of
starting to go down
on a lull.
Yeah. And I think that's what would happen. And the market would be flooded with all these weird, shitty games, and like the crowd would just kind of like disperse and be kind of like meh about everything.
Well, I mean, if you're such a giant and you just go away, of course, a lot of fucking ants are gonna come in and try and just bad fucking shit's gonna try and flood the market until the next giant walks around.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that was a good discussion. It was more out of that fucking quote than I thought we were gonna get. Milking it. All right, Shay. Third bit of news.
So Ubisoft's For Honor originally was supposed to have split screen. In fact, they originally quoted it as essentially a requirement to have for the games because of the competitive aspect of it, being able to sit there on the same couch with your friends, similar to that you would in a fighting game, and be able to fight each other. They have recently decided to get rid of it in the essentially to make it a better AAA product. They want to focus more on being able to have the online co-op work well and smoothly and stuff like that, and they don't think they can do that with having the split screen. How do you guys feel about For Honor losing its split screen for the sake of being a more tidy AAA game?
Before I forget this works, the word I was trying to remember earlier, I got it. It's going to lose its fidelity if you have two screens on the same thing. They're going to have to lower graphics. They're going to have to lower a bunch of stuff for the frame rate. I understand why they're doing it. It sucks that they're taking it away because, especially when they're so adamant about adding it, it sucks that they were like, this is going to be a great thing. We want it to be in the game. They're like, sorry. That sucks for them, but, you know, I completely understand, especially with games that look this good. The game looks fantastic.
Yeah.
I was going to compare this to the whole Halo 5 thing where they're like, split screen, not going to be a thing. But, again, For Honor is a new IP, and it sucks, but at least they're honest about it. But the thing with Halo, same screen multiplayer for Halo is such a staple. It's almost like a must.
They definitely took away from this.
So I can't judge them the same, even though it sounds a bit unfair. One's unproven, one's absolutely proven, and the split screen was one of the reasons why. So it's really interesting, but I completely understand. Sorry.
No. I was gonna bring up the Halo 5 thing also. At first, you're right with Halo 5. I was like, what the fuck? Because it should have fucking split screen. That's been something that's been on every single fucking Halo from the beginning of time. So it's weird that they got rid of it. For Honor, I completely, like at first, it sucks it doesn't have like split screen. At the same time, all my friends are pretty much in this fucking room. When was the last time we all sat down and played a 2-player game?
We played Rocket League like 2 weeks ago.
On like same screen?
Me and Chris did.
Oh yeah, but I mean like that's rare. Like
Yeah.
I think the last time I actually sat down and played a fucking gnarly game on a couch was when we played Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
And that was fucking like 5 years ago. Like
that was fun.
I mean like I understand there are people that fucking entertain. There are people that, but for me, I don't give a fuck because
Age brackets for sure. We're all like,
yeah, we
30s,
don't. Yeah,
so
it's not like after
lives.
school we're like, hey, come over, we'll play this game. So at the same time, is split screen? Do I care? Not really, just because. I mean, and this is me being selfish, but it doesn't pertain to me really, just because all my online with you guys is fucking over the internet. So,
well, to piggyback off that, I mean, like, I didn't even know this game was supposed to have split screen. That's on my part. I just didn't read it up on it enough. So when I heard that they were taking it, I was like, I didn't know they're going to do it. That would have been cool. But for me, a very common thing with me and us in general is more typically is better. I like options. You know, the idea that my friend comes over and is like, oh, what are you playing? For Honor. Oh, that looks cool. You want to play with me? Oh, yeah. Like, that's dope. That's awesome you can do that. For us, it's a rarer event to happen. But to have that's awesome. I mean, like, you can play Dynasty Warriors split screen, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is dope. Like, you know, that's a game that you said that so
you
so
fucking
depressing.
sounded so pissed off. Yeah.
With that thoughts, Chris?
I hate split screen. only only because like it just the field of view for me really like detracts, and it makes the gameplay for me not as, I wouldn't say as entertaining, but just like it's harder for me to get into games that have split screen because the field of view is so like narrowed and things like that. I mean, granted, I have a lot of fun playing people split screen with my friends, but in general, it's just not a feature I really care about.
It's funny because I actually feel the same way about the field of view drives me nuts. However, generally when I'm playing a split screen game, I'm not playing it the same way that I'm playing a game by myself where like I'm focused and trying to do the whole thing. I'm usually playing it and I'm just having fun, with people. So it's not as serious as an event at that point where that I am like so like worried about the field of view. So I have mixed feelings on it myself. So
I just kind of thought of it. I used to think abhorrently of a game not having split screen, like without with multiplayer. And I'm thinking maybe it's because I grew up in that golden age of split screens, of
Mario
fucking,
Kart.
Of everything being same couch co-op, same couch, against each other, the GoldenEye age, stuff like that. I grew up in all that, so maybe that's why I'm so adverse to being like, ugh, it doesn't have split screen. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, and the interesting thing about that too is it's easy to go, oh, it's nostalgia. Like we really liked split screen back then, but it's also a necessity. There wasn't Xbox Live back then.
Yeah,
right.
So split screen was a must. You could play with people. It was awesome. It was fun. Blah blah blah. But as online play came out, and now it's so common, almost everyone who has a console is typically online. It takes the necessity away from split screen. It's novelty now, and that's fine. That's where I stand with it. I don't love it or hate it. I like it as an option. I think it's a cool option, but certain games that look really good, I completely understand. And when a lot of people are like, well, graphics don't matter that much. They don't, but when you're really pushing a game that you're just really proud of how fucking good this game looks or whatever, and you don't want to diminish that experience or whatever, because it is an experience, and a great looking game is an experience. I mean, Uncharted looks fantastic. It is part of the immersion of it. It seems real. I don't know. It's just, I like split screen, but like you said, don't do it a whole lot. When I can, it's great, but also, if it's going to take away from the experience, get rid of it. Aside from Halo 5, I unfairly judge that one just because it's a staple. Yeah. Any last thoughts on that?
No, I think that pretty much covers that.
Is this changing anybody's opinion on picking the game up?
Fuck no, I'm still going to get it.
All right.
I'll get it twice.
Bring in the fourth bit news.
Goodness.
Fourth topic today is some news came out about the, what are they called, the moves?
Touch.
Oculus Rift Touch. It's the two controllers that are supposed to help immerse yourself in the using a Oculus Rift.
Give you room scale.
Yeah, give you room scale. The news that came out is they now have a price point and they have a release date. And the price point is $200 for the pair, and the release date is in December. And they're going to start taking pre-orders within the next couple weeks. So, my experience. I mean, what do you guys think about the Touch? From what we've seen, what do we think about the Touch?
As someone who owns a Vive and loves it, and already has experienced the room scale, which I think it'd be hard for me to go back and not have that. It's good that Oculus, and the news here isn't the controllers, they've been talking about for a while, but it's cool that Oculus is finally releasing those. $200 is pretty steep in my opinion. They are technologically pretty advanced, but that's bringing the price point of the Oculus up to the Vive area, and the Vive offers the lighthouses and more accurate gameplay.
I think you said they had 3 cameras to give you room scale.
You need a third.
You have to give a third.
So, like, I mean, that's already kind of a con compared to the Vive.
Yeah, so you're buying the cheaper VR thing, and now if you want to experience like the Vive, you pretty much have to buy the Vive at the same price point. You got to buy the new peripherals, which is fine. Those options are there. You don't have to get it. As for the controllers, I think they're pretty cool. But I'm not completely sold on them. I don't have an Oculus, but it's coming out in December. That's awesome. That's soon for anyone who has an Oculus. Like I said, $200 seems pretty steep, even if they have finger recognition or whatever, which is pretty neat. But yeah, overall, for anyone with an Oculus, if you have $200 and you want that Vive experience, it's awesome. It's coming out that soon.
Let's say I think it's a good thing because it is bringing room scale to Oculus. It also is a nice other option because you want competition and everything anyway. So,
sorry,
you're good. Being able to buy it in pieces instead of in one bulk package kind of lightens the burden for people too, so they can get the initial stuff, still experience some VR, and then get the rest of the stuff down the road.
It's financially modular.
It is. So it's just another option for people. I mean, obviously, like anything, you're going to have different categories of shoppers. So you're going to have the people who have the money to spend and can just get the whole thing by buying the Vive, or you're going to have the people who are going to buy it in sections with the Oculus, and then you have your other crowd of people who are going to get the other stuff like the Gear VR, PlayStation VR, stuff like that, which are much more affordable. So,
yeah. Thoughts?
You don't really have any?
Oh, I do. Go ahead.
No, you
Josh likes to. I feel like he's gonna bitch about something because he's waiting.
I always bitch about something too.
Okay, well,
bitch fest.
I think it's like you said, it's a really good idea because you can buy the parts separately, but at the same time, it's kind of bad on their part because they didn't have all of it to begin with. Like, if they really wanted to make good money, they should have had everything set up and ready to go from the get-go, had these things when it launched, and then giving you the option to buy each piece individually.
They started in a garage.
I don't care.
And
it's bad marketing.
And they brought out the piece before the other company even had thought about doing it.
Sure.
So the other company got to step up. I'm not saying Oculus shouldn't step up as well. That's a competition. That's why you need 2 companies doing this kind of stuff.
Right.
At least.
Just for me though,
I don't think it's lazy. It's just they're trying to adapt to what they already have.
I don't know.
Their infrastructure.
For me, VR would be not just buying a headset and experiencing it like that way. I would have to have the controllers, or else it wouldn't just be VR. It would just be like a 3D video.
Is we've all tried the Vive first, so that's almost our expectation of
and
VR should be.
That's what I was saying is if I tried the Oculus Rift first, I'd be like, well, this is fucking pretty cool because I went into the T-Mobile store to do something with my phones one time, and this was before I even tried the Vive. I tried it on Samsung Gear.
Yeah, I did too.
I was like, this is pretty fucking cool. I would never see myself using it for anything on my phone or anything like that, but I was like, this is kind of neat.
Yeah.
And then I was like, if this is VR, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it was only when I got into room scale that I was like, holy shit, this is the next this is the next fucking road that video games are going to go down.
Frontier, yep.
Yeah. So, I think we all are biased now because
I definitely am.
because we've played with room scale and nothing compares to room scale.
I think it's fitting our needs better though, because using the gear as an example, as a person who just wants to maybe sit in on a virtual like concert or something like that, it's fucking perfect. It's cheap,
And there should be
and
accessible,
they get to be there still.
accessible VR for
Yeah.
sure.
I'm not saying that one's better than the other, blah blah blah. I'm just saying they have their places, and I think
And Oculus should
has its
step up.
place.
They have to compete.
Sure, and it needs to compete because if I've learned anything about HTC from dealing with the customer service and just reading up on them in general, the way they handle customer stuff, they need someone to be their competitor, or they're going to be the next fucking Comcast. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, their customer service is fucking.
they have a good product, but as a company, I
What
don't
was
know,
that
man.
guy's name? No Dick.
Nord.
Close.
Close, yeah.
Yeah, might as well.
So let's cut this short. What do you guys think about the price point?
I think it's fair.
Yeah, I mean, if it's going to give you the same package that the Vive does, I mean, fuck, why not? It's probably it's pretty fair.
If it's ultimately the same price as the Vive, yeah, altogether, I think it's fair.
I actually think that it's a little steep. $200 seems like quite a bit for the controllers, but I haven't used them, so just watching people use stuff like that, I don't know. I feel like it could have been cheaper, and specifically because I don't think anything I've watched has not said that the Oculus is accurate as the Vive. So if you're going to be paying Vive prices, you should be getting something of similar quality. I'm not saying the Oculus isn't high quality. People who have them like them a lot, but yeah, it's still not on the same level. So
I still think that comes down to being able to buy it in a modular fashion, though. So
sure. I just feel like if you're going to buy them, if I had an Oculus, I'd probably wait for the price to come down a little bit because the thing still works with a controller, and it was originally meant for the controller. I'm glad the controller's coming out, blah blah blah. But for the thing's intention originally was for 360 controllers. So yeah, and it comes out December, so that's cool for anybody who has an Oculus. Anybody interested in Oculus and getting one? I originally was, but then I skipped ahead, bought the Vive, and now I don't even think about it.
To me, it's gonna because I know they, I know they did a ban on not a ban. I know they lifted the fucking Vive Oculus game restriction.
Yes.
But I do think there is going to be some separation in games, like that robot game we saw in the fucking video. I don't know if that's going to come out for the Vive.
Technically, it could because it does all the same stuff Vive
Yeah,
can do. It
yeah,
just comes
I mean-
down to who they're aligned with.
Exactly, and I think that Oculus has better alliances when it comes to that, just because of their connections.
oh yeah, no, they have AAA companies completely attached to them. So.
Exactly. So, if the price goes way down, maybe. But I mean, I really don't have a fucking. I mean, I'll just play the Vive.
I think it's too early.
Yeah.
All right, let us know in the comments below. Are you interested in picking up an Oculus? Do you have one? If you have one, are you going to pick up the Touch controllers? Do you think it's a fair price? Do you not give a fuck? Let us know. But I think it's going to do it for this episode of Tasty Tuesday on Tasty Loot Gaming. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe if you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to check out our other episodes. Make sure to play Resident Evil. Make sure to play Transformers Devastation. And play Rocket League if you want to. Check us out on Tumblr, Twitter, Tasty Loot Gaming. Check us out on Twitch, Sleep Division. And as always, thank you for watching. My name's Seth.
I'm Josh.
I'm Chevy.
And I'm Chris.
And until the next episode, which I believe will be Vermintide, we play that for like an hour. Have a good week, guys, and take it easy.